I just go with the flow. Just go with the flow. I just go with the flow.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I'm your host, your YouTuber, signing off limited. Never duplicate a superstar to Vicious. And going over Raw this week, it was once again in the ThunderDome. Yeah, it was in the ThunderDome again. And still hasn't gotten home. So yeah, before we get into that, little bits of news and snippets to go over. The big news that came out over the course of the past couple days, apparently going back to the talent working on third-party platforms via podcasts or YouTube, Twitch, cameos, things like that. Apparently the company is going to be taking, there's rumors circulating, and all knowing how I am with rumors, take all rumors with a grain of salt. Apparently rumors are that they are going to be taking control of all third-party platforms within the next 4 weeks. Then the next 3 or 4 weeks, and then, you know, and so again, I don't know on it. I don't know the ins and outs on it. I'm just on the outside just as much as everyone else. Now, a lot of people are preaching about, you know, they should have unions. They should have a union for all this and stuff. Now, here's my thing, though. Again, I grew up in a very union-heavy town. I was born and raised in Philadelphia. I spent my entire life in a very pro-union city. I am very much so a pro-union man. However, I am as much of a pro-union man as I am also a firm believer that there are jobs that do require unions, and I feel that there are jobs that do not require unions. Honestly, because here's the thing. You want to say, and get those words right. We'll just say for the sake of argument, you want to unionize pro wrestling. You want to unionize WWE. Okay, that means then you're going to have, when, not if, but when touring starts to happen again, and it's just a matter of time, because, you know, touring starts happening again, a majority of the cities and states, they're going to get sliced. They're not going to be seen as much as would like them to be, because as much as you may love seeing shows in Chicago, not going to see them a whole lot because possibility of Illinois State Athletic Commissions. May not see them. Cut out Detroit, Michigan, because Michigan State Athletic Commission. Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, Boston, you know, the list goes on and on. There's a majority of states out there that still do the athletic commissions. And, you know, that honestly, I don't even understand why they're still there. I've gone to, I'm considered a fucking regular at at the local wrestling promotion here. And honest to goodness, we got a doctor there. They have a doctor there, but they don't have an athlete. You know, I don't see any reason for an athletic commission to be there. You know, what's the purpose of the state athletic commission there for a pro wrestling show? You know, and yeah, and to go into the argument, they want to have this for being able to branch into outside ventures. Okay, so you're telling me you want to unionize in wrestling to work in third-party projects outside of the business that you want to unionize in. That's like saying You want to unionize McDonald's so you can talk about Wendy's. Or to make it even yeah, that works better. You know, I've been on both ends of the spectrum, being in a union when I didn't want to be, and being in a union when I was thankful for it, as well as being in jobs when I prayed we could get a union and never could. Listen, to basically sum up everything I just went over, like I said at the beginning, there's two ends to every argument, and we're only hearing one part of it. We don't know the ins and outs on the business aspect. You can hear a bunch of people saying, oh, Vince is just doing this because he's greedy. Vince is the kind of guy that'll spend billions just to save millions. We don't know the full details on that. For all we know, those millions could wind up going back into the company. For all you know, those millions could wind up going into the talent's pockets. For all you know, those millions could secure the quote-unquote indie darling that brings them in. And then next thing you know, they get a bigger platform to shine on. You know, that's the thing. We don't know all the ins and outs. And, you know, so yeah, now that I got that out, let's get into last week via the SmackDown Rewind. And big highlights from last week's SmackDown were, well, they made it official, Roman versus Jay in a rematch in a Hell in a Cell, which I'm all for. And as much as people are saying, oh, well, Jay's not a main eventer, he's not ready. Motherfucker, Roman wasn't ready. Nobody's ever ready when they get put in that spot. It's the whole point in being in the main event spot is to weed out who can and who can't. Now, me personally, I loved the Jinder Mahal thing, and I thought he would have been a great main eventer if he'd have had more time to be groomed for it. But things as they are come arise. Drew McIntyre, he is taking the main event spot. He got that main event ball and he's still running. Fuck. Other big highlights from SmackDown. The only other really big highlight from last week's SmackDown, honestly, is Kevin Owens did a surprise appearance to do the KO show, interviewed Alexa Bliss. Alexa kind of went into that crazed, brainwashed stare and glaze. And then next thing you know, boom, Fiend came out of nowhere, hit Owens with a mandible claw. And now this Friday coming up, we have a Kevin Owens versus Fiend in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Which also, coincidentally, this Friday is also the draft. So they're doing the draft on Friday as well as next week. So we'll go over that. Now with that said, let's get into this week's show. Monday Night Raw, it starts out Randy sitting in a locker room. Just like this. Gloating over on how he destroyed Big Show, Christian, Ric Flair, and Shawn Michaels, all just by simply taking out the lights, putting on the goggles, putting on a set of night vision goggles, and then just having at them. Because when he was taken out and put in that ambulance, he was blacked out. He don't remember much of it. He remembers certain things. He remembers getting chokeslammed by Big Show. He remembers getting beaten up, being attacked from behind by Christian. He remembers Shawn Michaels kicking him right between the eyes. And he remembers Ric Flair driving him off. So he went and got payback from them. And now he wants Drew, he wants Drew to cement his legacy with Randy in a Hell in a Cell. All for that. Also, please let this be the last on it, because as much as I've loved the matches, we gotta move forward. You gotta move forward at some point now. Come on. So, after Randy's done gloating about that on camera, you see Drew. He steps into the locker room looking all sorts of pissed. Boom! Beats the ungodly shit out of Randy and then leaves. So yeah, now we come to the first match of the night. Zelina Vega, Lana, and Natayla. Whew. Zelina, goddamn. Going against Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke, and my future third ex-wife, Asuka. Dana, Mandy, and Asuka. Oh my god. I swear the old man really is trying to kill me. He's trying to make me have a heart attack. He's trying to make me get the big one. Oh dear Lord in heaven. Thank God my buddy Zeke was there for me. Zeke, thank you. Thank you, Zeke, for those heart pills. Thank you for the heart pills, man. I needed them. Oh dear God in heaven. Oh my God. As far as the match went, it was kind of okay, you know. Decent enough opener. Mandy was the punching bag on it, which I was actually relatively surprised on, and I'm not saying this as a knock, but honestly, just given past experience with tag matches, I really thought Dana was going to be the punching bag, but glad it wasn't. Like I always say, I'm always for. I am very much for pro. Do something different. You know? Anyways, Asuka got the hot tag in, started cleaning up house. The match eventually came to an end when Mandy got tagged in, did a blind tag in, and then did a running high knee right onto Lana. 1, 2, 3. That was it. After that, then out comes Nia and Shayna Baszler. They proceed to beat the crap out of Lana and Natayla again, and then they put Lana through another table. At this point, it's almost, Lana getting put through a table is almost like Kenny with South Park, you know? It's like, okay, when's Kenny getting killed? When's Kenny getting killed? Oh my God, they killed Kenny, you bastards! And, oh my God, they put Lana through a table! Can we really say they're bastards for doing that? I still stand by my argument, though, that Lana and Natayla should rename their tag team HMB and just refer to themselves as high maintenance broads. I dare anyone to prove me otherwise on that. They aren't. Next matchup we got now is tag action. Rollins and Murphy going against Dominik and Humberto Carrillo. And before this match happened, Seth has something to say to Murphy about Murphy's sliding into Ray's daughter's DMs, which, gotta tell you, man, listen, Murphy's 31, she's 19, man, no. I mean, listen, I'm gonna be 36 soon. I may be an old hound dog, but even I got standards, man. Don't go chasing after nothing, don't go chasing after jailbait like that. I mean, fuck, she just finished. She's just out of high school, man. Yeah. But go after something else, man. Go chase after something else. I mean, either way. Seth confronted Murphy about those messages. Them two squabbled a little. And Seth was basically making it short and dominant, saying, you are the disciple, I am the Messiah. You disciple, me Messiah. You disciple, me Messiah. You viewers, me host. Basically kind of same thing. Maybe. We'll get back on that. Anyways, now the match. Now, Dominik and Humberto, they pretty much wiped out Seth and Murphy before the bell even rang, and then they went to break. Come back from break, Dominik's the punching bag, which, okay, I'm not that relatively surprised on. What I am more so surprised on is, why the fuck is Humberto Carrillo teaming up with Dominik when Humberto says he's friends with the Mysterios, he loves the Mysterios, but he was never there anytime Seth or Dominik got put on the ass end of an ass whooping. Fuck. Yeah. Either way, Humberto does a surprise tag in. More Seth and Murphy squabbling back and forth with the match. Seth, I got this, I'll get you when I'm ready. Murphy tagging himself in, them two arguing it, and then eventually the match comes to an end with Murphy actually doing a high knee on the Humberto, and then after that he walks off saying, "You'll say when you need me. You'll get me when you need me." Right. Anyways, they get to the back, then Murphy confronts Seth saying, "You need to apologize to Aaliyah," and all that jazz, and then so then they start a little countdown later on in the show, and then when the timer hits 0, Murphy confronts Seth. "You need to apologize." Seth don't. Them two start to brawl, and then Murphy starts beating the crap out of him with the Singapore cane. Seth gets it, starts beating the crap out of him, then gets the chair. Then Ray's daughter comes in, steps in between. Stop. And I'm just thinking, man, where the fuck is Kushida at when you need him? Because he fucking went savage on Velveteen Dream. Can we just get fucking Kushida out here to get fucking savage? I mean, that, again, personal thoughts. But yeah. Anyways, next matchup we got Braun Strowman versus Keith Lee in a exhibition match, which apparently doesn't count towards your win-loss record, which honestly I didn't even think WWE kept a track of your win-loss record. I thought that was just something an AEW thing, just to, build attraction, saying, hey, look, this guy won and lost this many matches. But these were basically, it was like seeing Godzilla and Mothra going at it, and it was like, boom, two giant kaijus going at it. That's all it was. And damn, they did not disappoint. A match came to an end via a double countout, but that still did not disappoint because the post-match brawl, Strowman stampede plowed Lee right through the security barricade, and then Lee just getting up like, motherfucker, no you did not. Then Lee throwing Strowman into the LED board and then throwing him off the stage with him on it, smash right into the table. Right onto the tables that were conveniently placed there. So next matchup we got tag action, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin going against Ricochet and Apollo. Now before the match, MVP cut a nice little promo saying on how, they may have won last week, but they didn't win the war. You're going to win a few matches, but that don't mean nothing. And you only won because Retribution wound up distracting us. So, boys, we're going to give you one last offer for the end of the night to join us. What say you? Ricochet comes out. Ricochet's got the mic. Now, I want to just make sure. This offer. Good. It's, I'm going to have to pass. And then he starts making burns on him. And then MVP just looks like, no. Now you see, I'm going to step out. You two, I want y'all to hurt him. I want y'all to put some hurt on them. Especially him, pointing to Ricochet. And, whoo, boy, did Ricochet get some hurt put on him. Nice little bit of a feeling out back and forth bit right before the break. Come back. Ricochet was the punching bag and was being made to feel the hurt. Now, Apollo wound up getting tagged in. Apollo got the hot tag in. started working good, but eventually Lashley got the upper hand, decimated Cruz, and then got the full Nelson in. Cruz tapped out. So later on you see you see Mustafa Ali confronting MVP saying, I want you and me one-on-one. You don't bring your boys out for it. I'll see you out there. So now we got Shayna and Nia putting their women's tag titles on the line against Liv Morgan and Ruby Riott. Now, right at the start, Liv and Ruby doing quick tags in and out, doing what they can to try and put some hurt onto Nia to try and take her down. It was good for a few minutes, but not for the long run. Shayna got in and started decimating, working Ruby's shoulder. Ruby's shoulder was pretty much looking like this, like it was dead. She was pretty much moving around like it was. Not legit injury, she was just straight up hurt. Looking like it was a working hurt. But Liv got the hot tag in, started doing pretty half decent. Then they started doing quick tags in and out to try and keep up, try and slow them down. Shayna and Nia down. It did not work though, because eventually Shayna Baszler wound up getting the Caribou to clutch in on to Ruby Riott. All the while, Nia wound up pinning and cornering Liv into the corner, and you just see the look on Ruby's face like, eventually tapping out. Next up, we got MVP going against Mustafa Ali. Now, MVP does have his boys with him. Not to be surprised on that. Mustafa Ali coming out alone. Now, MVP was just straight up leading on this from start to finish, right up until Retribution came out. They circled the ring, and MVP, Lashley, and Benjamin are in there. They're all back to back. P just looks at Ali. Come on. Us or them? Which is it? Get with us. Mustafa Ali, he gets with them and then rolls out under the ring. Looks over at Dio and then Dominik Dijakovic. Turns around at a camera, smiles, and then just looks at them. Get them. So Mustafa Ali is now the persona non grata leader of Retribution. And this works perfectly because he was the hacker. And then they dropped the hacker line. While he was the hacker, he dug up. He scurried around, dug up all the people that were mad, pissed off and annoyed because, like I said, Retribution is literally those guys that were mad because creative has nothing for them. They can't use those exact words, but that's what they're making Retribution out to be. It's those guys that are mad that creative had nothing for them. He found them and then recruited them and made an army. So yeah. Now we come to main event of the night. Randy Orton, Robert Roode, Dolph Ziggler against Street Profits and Drew McIntyre. Quick pace, relatively quick match. Faces led into the break, and then post-break, Ford was the punching bag, which, okay, I like the Street Profits. They're very entertaining, and all that jazz. But man, I would just really, at some point, again, like I say, I'm a huge proponent. I absolutely love when you change things up a little, do things a little different. Don't always make Ford the punching bag, Have Dawkins get put on the ass. Have Dawkins take an ass whooping in there sometimes. Ford was the punching bag, and then McIntyre wound up getting a hot tag, but you knew that was coming because the way McIntyre was being isolated, and it was just a matter of time. But still, it was a decent enough closer for the show, especially with all the build-up at the beginning of the show for the title match leading into for Hell in a Cell. Match came to an end when McIntyre, boom, hit Ziggler with a Claymore. Then, boom, hit Roode with a Claymore. Next thing you know, turned around. Right after he hit Roode, RKO onto him. And then 1, 2, 3, Randy wins. So, yeah. So that is it for the show, folks. So please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the other episodes. Look for me on the Twitter at Tim Vicious. Also on that Facebook gimmick, Tim Ash. If you're gonna look for me on my Facebook gimmick, let me know you found me on there from here. On the Twitter at Tim Vicious, on the Think I Creep John going. Also, thank you to my executive producer, Ollie Ray Ben, who did provide the music for this week's show. Make sure y'all check it out. It's on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, put it on the YouTube and such. Details are all down below. Also, thank you to contributor of the show, LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship. They're a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of MMA, and a whole lot of attractive women wearing a little bit of nothing.
What can I say? Nothing. This is the change of the tastemakers.
Also, folks, do not forget to follow these cool ass cats radio on the Twitter at Somalian Kenny Killer DSP_IV Diabolica RA and Sergeant Curry Pants. And folks, I can always tell you, you love me great, you hate me.
We can break bread, lunch.
Fuck yes.
You gotta tell me, son, I don't read minds, I don't wait in line.